Todd Chrisley recently said something that stopped me in my tracks. He said one of the mistakes he made as a parent was giving his kids too much. Now, before some of y'all click off, this ain't about beating up old Todd. I actually like Todd. This is about us, the parents, because I know a lot of parents in this community who can relate to that statement. Matter of fact, when my own daughter became estranged from me, one of the things she told me was that I was always talking instead of listening. I bet y'all surprised. She told me I was always trying to fix everything, always trying to solve any problems that she had. I was that parent that you would call a helicopter parent. And if I'm being honest, I thought I was helping. I thought I was being a good father. I thought if I could remove obstacles, solve problems, and make life easier, that was love. What I learned later is that sometimes helping too much prevents growth. Today, I want to react to what Todd said and ask a bigger question. Can giving your children too much actually hurt them?
They have babies. What would you have done differently as a parent? If you could tell them or tell your younger self when you had just starting out from Lindsay and Kyle to Chase and Savannah to Grayson and Chloe, what would you have done differently as a parent?
Less. I would have done less.
Less from the perspective of?
Less of worrying about them looking perfect all the time, the image being perfect.
Right.
Less of giving monetarily.
Right.
Because I feel like that I get that, well, I don't feel like I know it to be a fact, that we gave our children way more than what they should have ever been given. I would have insisted that my children work, get on jobs early, when they were 14, 15 years old, whatever the guideline was, whether it was bagging groceries at Publix or, working at a drive-thru at Burger King, because it would not have killed them. What I would have done less was making my children feel that my life existed because of theirs.
It gave them a lot of power.
It gave them too much power with me, and they used it against me.
Yeah.
This is where good parents get trapped. Bad parents usually don't worry about giving too much. Good parents do. We love our kids unconditionally. We don't want them to struggle. We remember what we went through growing up and how hard it was for some of us. So we promise ourselves, my child won't have it as hard as I did. The problem is we sometimes remove every challenge. We pay every bill, fix every mistake, rescue every crisis. And then we're shocked when they become adults who expect rescue. Because what gets practiced gets learned. Understand that. What gets practiced gets learned. And I think a lot of us parents struggle with that aspect of enabling our children. This is the question parents hate. Was I loving them or was I enabling them? I struggle with that, y'all. Bad. Those are not the same thing. Love says, I believe in you. Enabling says, I don't believe you can handle this. Love lets people struggle. Enabling removes every struggle. Love teaches responsibility. Enabling teaches dependency. And the hardest part, sometimes enabling feels more loving in the moment because it makes us feel needed. A lot of us built our identity around being the fixer. Or let me say, I know I did. If there was a problem, I wanted to solve it. If there was a crisis, I wanted to rescue it. But eventually, adult children have to their own lives. I want to tell you guys a little bit about my background and my story. When my daughter told me I was always talking and not listening, man, that hurt my soul. That did something to me. Because my intentions was good. I wasn't trying to control her. I was trying to what I thought was to help her. But intention and impact are not always the same. That conversation forced me to look at myself, not as a bad father, but as a father who still had a thing to learn. Many parents watching this need to hear that. You can be a loving parent and still make mistakes. Both things can be true. Both things can be true. So, when you think about the whole Todd situation and you're looking at it, and I question myself sometimes, what would I do differently? What would I do differently? If I could go back, I'd listen more, talk less, and listen more. Ask more questions. Jump in with fewer solutions. Allow more natural consequences. Teach responsibility earlier. Your ass gonna learn today. Make them earn more. Rescue less. And trust that struggling isn't always suffering. Because confidence comes from overcoming things, not avoiding them. Todd's comments are really about Todd and his situation with his family. They're not about Todd. They're about every parent who loved hard, every parent who sacrificed, every parent who wanted better for their children. The question isn't whether you made mistakes. We all did. We all did. Every parent did. The question is, can you learn from them? That's the question. Can you grow from them? Can you be honest enough to say, maybe I gave too much. Maybe I fixed too much. Maybe I rescued too much. Because awareness is where growth begins. And growth is still possible, even now at our older age. Right? Even now. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the parents. I want to hear from adult children. Looking back, what would you have done differently as a parent? Parents, that's what I want to know. And if you're an adult child watching this, what lessons do you wish your parents had learned earlier? Let's talk about it in the comments, man. You guys make sure you like, share. Make sure you turn that follow button on. Hit the follow button if you're not following me. Man, like I said, my name is Aaron Real Talk, and I appreciate you guys taking the time with me today.